Hey guys, Shotarek and Zaya here, with a quick update video discussing Cursed Stone Idol in Mythic Plus, as well as trinket choices in general, as I know I'm going to start getting a lot of questions based on what I am now running. In short, I finally got a Cursed Stone Idol drop, and this is the first one that I've gotten to play with out of a Halls of Atonement. Doubly so, I got it with Avoidance, so kind of sick for Mythic Plus. An extra 1.5% damage reduction on most dangerous mechanics. Now, it may be a little difficult for me to click around and go around this quickly, as I am holding a cat with one of my arms, and she is quite persistent. But in short, what I have started running in keys now is Cursed Stone Idol over my Mythic Nether Prism. This is something that I wasn't certain on before, and I've been pretty vague and unclear about Cursed Stone Idol because every person that seems to get this trinket complains that it's awful to use and not fun. So, with that, I was really hesitant to give, like, a clear answer of, it's BiS and you should just play it and, like, suck it up. But now that I've gotten the trinket, what I can say is, it's very strong. Simply, I think it's overtuned now. It does a significant amount of damage, and significant amount is relative, but you can see it's doing 1.6% of my overall damage, while it also has an incredibly strong on-use effect that is stronger than most trinkets. For example, you get more stats out of this than you get out of the minute and a half Lily from Ecodome. So it's very good in the stats that it gives, as well as actually dealing damage for the 1 second channel time. And you can move during the 1 second channel time, and not only can you move, you can actually be double jumping and, like, jumping around. You can't glide, but you can fully double jump with it. So I don't find this prohibitive to use, and I kind of like playing around it in general. Didn't think it was nearly as bad as everyone said, but at the end of the day, if you don't like playing with the trinket, you don't need to play it. But here's my reasoning. It is out-simming my Nether Prism sizably, despite the fact that it's Heroic Track versus Mythic Track. I think I undervalued just how large of a nerf Nether Prism got before, and that nerf to it took its damage from being pretty good in keys to being very mediocre. So if I go to a Nether Prism key here, like I believe I had it in this Floodgate, you can see it's doing 1.3% of my overall. But if I go back in my personal logs and find a key previously where I had done Floodgate with it before it was nerfed, despite the fact that I am now using a 723 Nether Prism and my old one was 707, it was doing like 3% of my overall. That is a crazy, crazy big nerf. For reference, if we're talking about a 1.7% nerf, which is what this seems to be, that would be about equivalent to a patch note saying Astral Antenna's critical strike provided has been nerfed by 75%. That would take Astral Antenna from being the best trinket in the game to the worst, hands down. And that's kind of what's happened in Nether Prism, except it was much stronger due to the bug. But with the bug having been fixed, and now the damage splitting correctly, the nerf was so large that I do greatly value my Cursed Stone Idol ahead of it. Now, I don't have a Mythic one yet, so I could still run Nether Prism, but there's another side to Nether Prism too, and that is, if you don't use the on-use section of it well, then you're not going to get the value out of the trinket. As I mentioned, I believe that it does undersim in Sims, as I use more Reaver Glaives in the windows than the Sims will actually be holding for. However, the same is true for Cursed Stone Idol, and you can make sure that you use 2 Reaver's Glaives in every Cursed Stone Idol window, too, to get the benefit of the critical strike buff. So, in some terms, they both under-sim, which is why I'm running it over the very similarly simming Astral Antenna. The other benefit is I just don't have to worry about the balls minigame for now, but eventually when I get a Mythic Astral Antenna, that will be run over Sigil the Cosmic Hunt, and when I get a Mythic Cursed Stone Idol, it will be hands down best in slot for Mythic Plus for Eldrazi Reaver. But in the meantime, I'm running this even though it's lower item level and I think it's better. It has higher value if I use the windowing correctly compared to Nether Prism, which is basically all the value of the trinket now, including not having any base stats. And I'm still fighting Zaya over here for her attention, so I apologize. With that being said, there's another downside to Nether Prism. That is not the case for any other trinket. If you die with Unyielding Nether Prism, you lose your stacks. And at the end of the day in keys, you will die. This is something that's just going to occur no matter what. So I can come in here to our 18 Dawnbreaker, and you can see me die to what is more or less a bug. And me and Melee both died to this right as I press a 18 stack Nether Prism. My Nether Prism, you can see down on the right here, is on 18 stacks. This is essentially like a 50 to 55% damage amp for 20 seconds. And right when I press it, we died to an invisible black hail. I was unaware that this was a thing that can occur. You can kind of see the curvature to the outside of a circle here that lands in the air above us and kills both of us right now. Not having to worry about losing all the value of my trinket to things like this is another good added benefit. Cursed Stone Idol, a lot of the value is the upfront burst damage from it, and if I die while it's on cooldown, or just coming off cooldown, something like that, I'll still have it up when I get back to the pack or get battle rezzed. With Nether Prism, when you die, you lose all the stacks, and it's done. You get to start over again, and that just means if you're expecting to die in dungeons, which you should, because it happens in push keys, then that's going to lower the value even further. I do stand by the fact that at the start of this week, before it got nerfed, I said it was our absolute BiS for keys. Unfortunately, that bug fix was just even bigger than I thought it was, and, you know, we lost an extra 1.5% plus DPS. So I took a Mythic 1 out of my vault that is now pretty much wasted, at least in terms of Mythic Plus. I'll still use this for Nexus King prog, basically holding the stacks to burn onto the platforms until we get more comfortable there, and I can eventually use it to burn into the dragon. So it's just nice being able to move around a significant portion of my damage on Nexus King, but for Mythic Plus, I'm just going to play Cursed Stone Idol now that I have one. So, if you get Cursed Stone Idol in your vault, and you like doing Mythic Plus, and you can stomach playing with this trinket, I'd greatly recommend it. This is going to be absolute BiS on Mythic track, but at the end of the day, it sounds like we're also going to be getting Dinars back at the end, or towards the 0.25 patch when Turbo Boost comes again, so we'll always be able to buy Mythic 1 later too. As a small post-edit side note, here's what the range looks like on Cursed Stone Idol, and you can see what it's going to hit in current damage done. So when I slam it down here, it doesn't hit the Tuskar training dummy, but it does hit in a nice area around us and hits all three of these dummies. The range was increased before, and honestly it works out pretty good now. So just want to make a little comment on that too, because it used to be a 5-yard trinket, now it's 8, and it feels fine. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to follow my content and stay up to date with Havoc Demon Hunter. Thank you, I'll see you guys in the next one.